Hey guys, I'm Prodigy from Airsoft Team Kilo23. Before we get started with this video, don't forget to check out Airsoft.com on YouTube.com. Check out Inside the Mech Box specifically. There's some pretty awesome stuff there. Get to check out a lot of guns, a lot of internals, a handful of upgrades. So today isn't really a gun review, it's just more of a parts review. This is a part that's kind of hard to find in the US. They're not super expensive, but I've heard a lot of good things about them. This is the Lonex A1 motor. This is the long type motor, so I'm going to be installing this in a gun. We're going to test it just as a controlled item. I'm just going to install the motor, use the same battery, no other upgrades or anything. So we're just going to see how the motor performs in comparison to a stock motor. Now, let's get all the information out of the way before we actually do this. Now let's look over the specs on the back of the box here. The motor, or the advertisement, says it'll run at 40,000 RPMs, which is pretty good. It seems like a lot of upgrade motors will run that fast. It also says it can pull 2 kilograms per centimeter, so I'm assuming that's quite a bit. Steel pinion gear. Most upgrade motors, if not stock motors, have a metal or steel pinion gear. A ball bearing aluminum shaft cover. Most upgrade motors do already have that, so that is not a huge deal. And also it claims that it has bearings on both ends of the motor shaft. Most motors do as it is, if not most upgrade motors. Now the back of the box says this A1 motor is intended for an M130 or SP to an M170 or SP. So you can imagine this is a pretty high torque motor. It should pull most springs. Did read on some forums that it will pull, up to an M200 spring if you really wanted to. Now the motor comes pretty well packaged inside of the box. It does have a very tough foam around it, and it is inside of a hard plastic shell. The motor will come with a sheet that shows what each of the Lonex motors is intended for, A1 through A5. It'll show what power springs they're intended to pull. On the other side, it'll show you what each motor's features are. This specific motor has all kinds of cool stuff, but I'm not going to go into detail. Now today we're going to be installing the Lonex A1 motor in my Echo 1 SOB1. Now if you want to know the upgrades, just wait 2 seconds here and you can read the page. Now that you know what upgrades this gun has, let's go ahead and test the rate of fire on a 9.6 volt 1600 milliamp hour battery. Right now it's shooting about 13.5 rounds a second, decent for the Echo 1 motor that's in there on a 9.6 volt battery. Are tightened down all the way. I actually had another one of these that I installed recently in a buddy's gun, and when I tried to pull it out, the motor, the actual back of it came off, so that was not fun. Now let's go ahead and test the rate of fire with the Lonex motor installed. I have the motor height adjusted, and it sounds pretty good. That's pretty good. It went to about 13.5 to just under 19 rounds a second. I'm surprised. I expected about this, but hey, it's nice, it sounds good, and these Lonex motors are not supposed to heat up very fast. They're supposed to be very efficient motors. So guys, what do you think? The Lonex A1 motor. It's intended to pull super high powered springs above an M130. Then again, this is running an M120, so it's probably getting a little higher rate of fire, which is nice. Lonex motors. They're good. Don't forget to check out Inside the Mech Box on Airsoft.com, on YouTube.com. I'm Prodigy from Airsoft Team Kilo23. This is my really awesome Echo 1 SOB1. Thanks for watching. Take it easy.